Hello and welcome to another Nordic Takedown podcast, not video, episode 48, which is a really insane episode here for us. It's so much going on, not only in the Nordics, but outside on the world as well. I'm so humble, and I'm here today with Jason.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah. Fun daddy for those who doesn't know your name already. And returning Matthias, or Matthias RJ, as you are
Hello.
Yeah.
It's great to be back.
Judge.
And that's his nickname. Yeah, he's known as Returning Matthias.
Yes,
returning
sure.
Matthias.
He always comes back.
Yeah, not Judge Matthias.
You can call me whatever you want. It's fine.
That's good. Today we're going to touch on a few subjects. We are going to go through some tournaments like the PQ in Finland, some store showdowns, a little bit short, that has been going on. We are also going to talk about some global news and some judging stuff, obviously. And then, of course, we all attended the Manatorsk store event, which would be a big focus for us because all of us played that event.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to do a shout out to longtime listener Johan Eriksson, I think is the eftername, Method Eriksson, in the Swedish Discord room. He took down the Stockholm Showdown with Kira Green. Nice. He's been longing for a title for a long time, so big shout out for him to getting that victory. Then we are going to just address that there is sectors and regionals. Some people thought there wasn't going to be any sectors or regionals before Galactic, but there are some.
Yeah, I was surprised by this as well. I was just like, whoa, how much are they going to actually fit in between now and Globals?
The answer is 6, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently 6, yeah.
Actually quite impressed with that.
Yeah.
And they haven't released any, what do we say, where the venues are or the cities. But I think you, Matthias, said it was 4 Sector 2 regionals, right? Or
yeah, 4 of the slightly smaller one and 2 of the bigger one. I cannot keep them apart in my head.
Yeah. And like
no, that's correct. Yeah.
When we say slightly smaller, the events were supposed to be able to host 1,000 or 2,000 players.
Yeah. So smaller, not smaller.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be like a weekend event, right? Like they're going to do 2 days.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of side events around. So
Price
this would be
all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even if you're not there or don't qualify for them or get knocked out early, there's a lot of stuff going on from what I've read. I've read this quite carefully. You've got like Twin Sun pods, draft pods, sealed pods, so many pods that you can get involved in, and the prizes look pretty sweet.
So if you're into pods, this is the place to be.
FFG, like one of the only good competitive thing they might have done in Destiny was these prize walls. Like they had insane prize walls on like what it was called. That was called Galactic Galactic qualifiers or something like that. Now that is the main event here. It's so confusing to be a ex-Destiny player. But those prize wall events and like with gathering tickets, those were like some of the most beloved like tournaments in Destiny. So I'm quite confident they are going to pull off like really insane events here.
Yeah.
I just really hope there will be something fairly close to the Nordics because it's obviously not going to be one in the Nordics.
No,
that would not be a very smart business move.
I think Germany would be quite good.
Yeah, I'm hoping Berlin.
Yep, Berlin would be good.
Easy like access for many countries to get to Berlin.
Yeah.
Like should be a lot of flights going there. I guess we have a lot of business flights to Frankfurt in Sweden, so that could work. But Most likely would be one in England, I guess, because they've had like some massive tournaments in England.
And also just because it's harder to travel from England to EU now. So, to let them
because it's not actually EU. So if they mean Europe, they can't mean England, of course.
Well, they haven't said anything about the distribution yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, they haven't said Europe or EU, because if they say EU, then it's golden, no England. Matthias here, do you have something for us?
No, I just saw the when we were talking here, FFG's just spoiled a new card that popped up on my Discord. That was a really fun one, which is a 27 health base, red base, that says your minimum deck size is decreased by 5 cards.
You can go to 45?
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Like, they're doing some funky stuff with the decks now. With the bases now, so that's fun.
Red base well. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Like, this is live. That's what happens. So to maybe the big thing in like the Nordics right now, it's the PQ. What is it called? The PQ in Finland have been or in Helsinki has been held this weekend, and like. It was a fairly small PQ, 25 players. We're not going to lie about that, but the Nordic countries, we are not big, and Finland is not the easiest to go to. But from this event, we could see the top 4 was Django Tarkentown, Cad Bane Tarkentown, a Boss Blue, which had not been performing that well in many PQs before this weekend. And of course, a Sabine Green victory, or Sabine ECL, from Kevin, the Swede, that went over. How surprised are we that Kevin won an event?
Not even a little bit. He is an amazing player.
Yeah, won the Cantina Brawl and top 8 last time in Copenhagen and top 4 before that in the PQ. So I think it's safe to say that right now he's the most successful tournament player in the Nordics.
Absolutely.
I think we can agree with that.
Not gonna put any insult saying he's the best, because there could be someone sitting there at home and not being able to go to these tournaments. That's just like, I am better than him. I'm beating him every time in Stockholm. But he's definitely the most successful.
He's one of the best.
Yeah,
at the very least.
You can't.
And he's just keep grinding this Sabine ECL. We have actually, Matthias.
He's really shown something that I think amazed a lot of people, which is Sabine is not just autopilot, which a lot of people has been considering for a long time. But he's showing that Sabine, you can be a very good Sabine player.
Yes.
It has a very high roof for if you're able to push from the plateau, basically. So that's fun to see.
Yeah. So we have actually scored an interview with Kevin. Not us 3, but Victor from the podcast has actually been doing a small interview with him that we're going to get here in this episode as well. So before we go to that,
before we go to our Finland correspondent Victor,
exactly. Is there anything that stood out for you guys with this PQ? Like, even if it's the amount of players there, or that Kevin won.
I mean, just looking at the top 4, it's fun to see that we have aggro, we have mid range, and we have control represented. The 3 main ways to really play the game. Obviously, there are tempo decks and some such, but you see, seeing Boss Blue up there is fun now. We don't see him as much, even though we saw him in the beginning of the season. Having a Boss Blue actually do well is fun, because, I mean, control is a very valid way to play the game, even if it irritates me to face. It's nice to see that it's following the kind of standard rotation of the older a set gets, the better control becomes. So it's fun to see that happening and seeing people actually developing with the game in that sense.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there, Bosk Blue did pretty well in. It won a PQ in Chile, and one in the States this weekend as well on pretty big events like 74 and 110 plus. So it's starting to show up again. To most people's sadness. I've faced enough Bosk Blue.
But it is interesting. It is, like Matt Matthias said, it's interesting to see that, and especially when Bosk Blue is the deck that everyone was dreading beforehand, and then that hasn't been a problem. It hasn't been an issue. It's been beatable, but now obviously, like Control, you know what the threats are, you know what you've got to deal with, and then you can understand how to build those good Control decks.
Yeah.
So that's fun to see.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope Kevin inspired some Finnish people to go over to Stockholm PQ.
Yes, come here, Finnish people, fight with us. Or
because I think we have a good chance of getting the biggest PQ in Stockholm at Sweden for the Nordics this time. Showing Asmodee how wrong it was to put it in Copenhagen in the first place. No, just kidding. It was great. Both times that was great. So we are going to listen to this interview now between Victor and Kevin, and we'll be back with you very shortly.
Hi, my name is Victor, and this segment I'm here with Kevin Kunisvaara, and you are here because you won the Finnish PQ. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I got lucky and got to win the Finnish PQ. I'm half Finn, so I had to be there. Like, I'm usually playing in Stockholm, but I had to represent like Swede-Finn power.
For sure. I was just about to ask about that. Did it feel like a Swedish invasion, or did it feel like a homecoming for you?
It was my first time in Finland, so it felt like a Swedish invasion. And on Melee, my name and last name says, and my last name is Finnish, so everyone started talking to me in Finnish, but I had to actually quick, no, English, please.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling I'm half Dutch and in the same position. Now, so you took down the PQ, but you were close twice before. You came in top cut for both the Copenhagen PQ in set 2, and also you did take top cut for set 3 Copenhagen PQ, right?
Yeah, top 4 the first one and top 8 the second one.
Right. Could you briefly just like tell us a little bit about your background in Star Wars Unlimited and other card games?
It's my first TCG, so I haven't played any other card games, no Magic, no Pokemon. I've tried Pokemon, but couldn't really, it wasn't my game. I've played Hearthstone, so almost, but it's not really the same.
Some of it translates.
Yeah, some of it, yeah. And I started in set 2 with Niklas, and me and him are playing a lot, and we were testing everything and practicing. He was the one who got me into it. He bought the starter kit from set 1, but it was like in August or something like that, so not on release. So we haven't played for all that long, but it's going well at least.
Yeah, I'd have to say, you have some notable wins to your name. You did win the Cantina Brawl as well in Skövde. Right. Do you have you any other big wins that I'm forgetting?
Not big wins. I got to win one set 3 showdown in Linköping this year, and then yes, the PQs coming top 4 in Copenhagen. The only Swede beating up Nicola. He's not happy about that, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. No, so you mainly do well in the big tournaments then. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about how it was in the Finnish PQ. What was the store like? What was the people like there?
The store was great. It was like huge. You got a lot of room. Like even it wasn't the biggest PQ, but still 25 people, and they still had room for people to play Commander and stuff. They had like an entire row of people playing Commander, so it fit quite a lot for many people.
Mm.
Everyone was nice. The store owner, the judges could talk between matches. I'm playing Sabine, so I have a lot of downtime. It's always the perk.
Yeah. So, would you say they seem to be a tight-knit community, or could we expect some of them to show up in the Stockholm PQ?
I tried asking around, and I don't think a lot of them travel that far. They're not like one. Like in Stockholm, we have one community. Like everyone plays together almost like every weekend on Wednesdays. But they have like different stores, and some people are playing more casually in one store, and that's what I think, at least from asking around. I tried getting some people to come. You have to like win back the one guy I beat the finals. Like you have to come and take back it from Sweden now, but we'll see if he comes or not.
Yeah, would be great to get some Finnish representation. Well, outside of that, is there anything else, any notable players that you faced that were really, really good that we should be keeping an eye out for?
I faced in the second or third round of Swiss the Bosk Tarkentown. It was a really interesting deck, and he was from Estonia. There were two Estonians there.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to me he was in Malmö, the big tournament in Malmö last year.
Yeah, I remember.
I wasn't there, and his deck was really good. And I won 2-0, but we played like 6 more, and he won every single one after that. It can go so fast. Like I thought, like Sabina, it's hard to out-aggro me, but Bosk Tarkentown from out of nowhere, like the card that hits your guy for 2 and gives you +4, the upgrade. And then on punishing 1, so he can stand up, hit again.
Yeah.
Few nice combos.
I've seen that in Kylo Talkingtown. Some people do that combo. Yeah, it's strong. Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about your deck and your run. You brought Sabine as usual, I suspect. Yeah. Did you make any notable changes to your deck for this tournament?
The night before, I swapped out Sundari Peacekeeper for Admiral Yularen. I didn't like Yularen before. I've tried him. I think I had him in Cantina Brawl, but he didn't perform well. Like I almost reached him every time. But this time he was like the Yango players, the ping decks couldn't. I faced 2 Yango players, and they had to like, okay, I have to kill Yularen before killing everything else. I had a nice moment. Red 3 was out, and he had the P shooter, the one that 3-2 space. So he couldn't kill Red 3 and exhaust. He had to choose either to kill Red with the ping or exhaust something in ground.
Oh, that's great. That's the kind of situations you want to get into all the time. Yeah, cool. Now, what did you face? Like, how many rounds of Swiss were there?
There were 4 or 5. 5. I met Yango, Tarkentown, Han Yellow, Bosk, Tarkentown, Bosk Blue. Was it one more round? I think 4 or 5.
I think it was 5 rounds according to the melee. So yeah, but you can't tell what you faced really from melee.
Oh yeah, I can have a quick look. Well, I can start with the first Yango Tarkentown, always a nail biter. If they triple dark raid and hit Roots Raider, you lose. Otherwise you win. It feels like most of the time for me, at least.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And I lost the first game of that round. Yeah. So like, okay, now I went to Finland. It's over now. Like I lost, I will not win. But I managed to win 2 in a row after that.
Cool.
And I faced Bosk, the Bosk. Oh, Cad Bane, actually. That was the last round. Cad Bane was also. I faced both. I faced Bosk Blue in both the last round of Swiss, lost to him 2-0, and then I faced him in the finals and won 2-0. So only I faced twice. And I faced 2 different Yango Tarkentown decks.
Okay, yeah. What was your hardest match? Because you did lose to this Sam T30 guy.
Yeah, really good guy.
He won the Swiss King of Swiss, I think, right?
No, I think I managed to beat him still. I was undefeated for the last round and he had lost once.
Oh, okay. So you did end up King of Swiss, even
Uh,
though you took a loss in the final round.
Mm.
All right. Yep.
And he was a really nice guy. We played. It was like the last game. He was already at like full HP, and we just continued to play because it was over. Like either we have to sit out and wait for everyone else to be finished, or we just try to see how much damage I could do. But he's like 40, 50 HP on that.
Yeah. So he did take the last round of Swiss, but you still ended up King of Swiss, and then you went into quarterfinals, top 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you face then?
Then I faced a new Yango Tarkentown player, which I managed to beat 2-0. And like every Yango Tarkentown, miss triple dark raid. Yeah.
How do you feel about that matchup? Are you confident into that matchup with the deck now?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of Tarkentown young players in Stockholm in the Wednesday League, so I've faced it a lot. It's always close. I can still lose, but it's a gamble deck. You have to draw the one card, 1 of 3, and then you have to hit top 7.
Yeah, so Sabine has a higher consistency. I'd agree to that.
I feel like that's it. Because I've learned that in the beginning I always saved ECL for Yango flip turn. But I realized like I don't really need it.
No.
It's better to use it in the like early games. He plays the Cartel Spacer, I ECL, red 3, it survives. He has to trade in a Kylo's silence or something. 2 for 1 in.
Yeah.
Just,
I think I agree with that segment a lot, because that like Yango himself isn't that much more impactful when he has flipped than he is before. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. So I definitely agree with that. Now, for the finals, you face that CAD deck again, right?
No, the Bosk Blue.
Bosk Blue. Bosk Blue.
Against the CAD.
Okay. So what do you think about that matchup? Because that can be tricky for Sabine, right?
It's really tricky. Like Niklas, my testing friend that I faced, he's a Bosk main guy. He won of a Bosk Green, but he plays Bosk Green and Blue a lot. And I got a really shitty record against him. I've lost so many times. I hate the matchup. So whenever I'm faced a Bosk player, I was like, okay, it's an insta loss, but not everyone is as good as him and have practiced against Sabine as much as him.
Exactly.
Because when we play test, I'm a Sabine main, and he knows how I play and knows how to beat me.
Yeah. No, yeah, you could tell so much in the Copenhagen stream when you guys faced similar decks and each other. It's just, you know that you guys been playing that game so much against each other. Yeah. And so how did this final go for you? You did end up winning it 2-0, right?
Yeah. I was really surprised. The first game, he made a mistake that I didn't pick up on, but the people watching, everyone was watching us because no one else was playing. And we had 2 judges left or right. And he played Snoke when I had Sabine and K2 out. And I'm a Sabine player. I don't know what blue cards does. Snoke doesn't affect leaders, apparently.
No, they don't.
But he thought so, and I thought so as well. So I used Rebel Assault, and like, okay, it's not enough but it was enough.
It was enough. All right. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. It's sad for him, but good for you.
It was funny because the secondary judge was counting how much he healed that game. I think he healed over 20 or something. Like, but I still just kept hitting him. Like, I can't stop. If I start trading or doing something else, like I always face the client and like, okay, should I hit him or should I go face? He hits 5, but if I don't hit him, if I hit him face, he hits for 3 or 2. So
it's hard. It's rough. Yeah. All right, and the second game was equally close, or
it was like I got everything. I got Rebel Assaults. I got Wrecker. I got K2s, like K2s and 4 causes.
Yeah,
like they do damage.
Yeah,
either you want it or not. So
yeah, Sabine does Sabine things sometimes. Yeah,
but I think he was also surprised because it went really like he had the upper hand in the Swiss. I couldn't stand a chance. But now I just I got through.
Yeah. Well, cool. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this?
No, I think that's my story.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that you agreed to do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we're back. Amazing interview, right?
I agree with everything. It was a really interesting interview. I agree with everything that he said.
I definitely heard all of the words and all of the things they said, and the sentences were very well structured. We definitely just listened to it.
Yeah, and a great job by Victor as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It was insane. He was tweaking the questions. No, I'm kidding. It was really good. Nice to hear from Kevin and Victor about his experience there in Finland. So now we are going to move on to a bit sadder subject. I mentioned a little bit about judging before.
Do not judge.
Do not judge us for being sad. No, but I'm going to let Matthias here, who are a judge and is involved in the judge program, a little bit explain what the news and why it's sad.
Yeah, fair.
Because last time, Matthias, you are now a level 1 judge.
I am indeed a level 1 judge, which is currently the highest level of judge. So yay me, I guess it's not very high. We can't go further yet, so we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, so in the world of judging Star Wars players, or at the very least the game, there has been some stuff happening. The main thing being the release of some judge merch kits by Cascade Games, the people who, host the judge program, essentially. Tim Shields and his colleague Jonah Kellerman is basically doing it all as a duo. So only 2 people working on this. But they released 2 judge kits, one printed in 250 copies and one in 350 copies. And they essentially a week beforehand said, we're going to be selling these and we're going to be selling them for $150 before tax. These judge kits are only available if you are a judge, i.e. if you are a judge apprentice or a level 1 judge. And they contain, each kit contains 3 different promos. So there's a heroic set with 3 heroic promos and a villainy set with 3 villainy promos. Yep. They also contain 2 deck boxes each, the Sidewinders or Sidekicks, I keep mixing them up, from GameGenic. So a non-branded, non-Star Wars branded deck box.
Okay, it's not even the deck pods.
It's not the deck pods. No, it's the smaller versions. It's still the kind of fake leathery, feely ones.
I think I got one of those at Lincoln. When I was there and won it.
Yeah. So you get 2 of those, and you get either one of those hard case kind of mini bags you can carry cards in, or a binder, depending on which kit it is. So 2 deck boxes, 1 additional thing, 3 promos. And this costs you $150. It was then lowered to $130 and $135. It's been a bit of communication errors. We're going to get to that later. So that's what happened there. The cost does not include tax, as I said. It does not include shipping to EU.
Yeah.
The shipping turned out to be about $100.
Which is kind of sad. That's a first sad, right? The Americans get it a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and we didn't know that until we were able to go purchase the thing. So people clicked in and were like, "Whoa, what's this?" I clicked in, went, because I couldn't buy anything because it said this is not shipped to your location. So they couldn't ship to Sweden at all. But that's a different story.
That's why people have been writing someone can pick it up in Germany because someone is there. All right.
Because they originally shipped to United States, Canada, and Europe, including England. Okay, but so there, I know there was some Australians that were trying to get a hold of one by going to Germany because they were going to Germany and can we ship them there? But they didn't know how long it would take, so But yeah, so shipping to Europe is about $100, and then it's tax on that. So when all said and done, expecting about $250, $260 to get the product in my house should I buy it. Which is a lot of money because the cards are supposed to be gifts. They say that they don't charge for these. They are not allowed to charge for these. That changes the tax rules and it makes it illegal essentially.
Right.
So they charge for the deck box?
Yes, they charge for 2 deck boxes and a case. Which, if I were to, well, I guess if I were to after this episode go down to my local game store and pick those up, they would cost me about $55, all things considered. And those things have also been shipped here.
Yeah. So they're giving them away if you buy the merchandise kits.
Yeah, purchased at about four or five times.
Purchased at 3 times the amount. Yeah.
So basically, they are selling the judge promos.
Yes, they are selling the judge promos. Yeah. And these were very limited in production, as I said, 250 of one and 350 of the other. And this first run, they opened up to both apprentices and level 1s. Future print runs of similar things will be only limited level 1 and up, because the apprentice test is very easy to take. And we did notice that there was a very large influx of new judges the same day as the sale went live, which was yesterday our time, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. And this whole thing, sure, it's just product, but this worries me for several reasons. Number one is the fact that this is not the first program Cascade is running. Before this, there was Judge Academy, and I am not a Magic player. I have not played Magic since 2012, and that was before Judge Academy was a thing, so I only know this secondhand from reading up on it and talking to judges that was involved back then. But generally, what I've understood is that the system for Judge Academy was every judge pays $100 per level of judge they are per year. So upwards of $400 per year to be allowed to judge and be part of the system, which is a lot of money to be able to work. And that gave them exclusive promos 2 times a year. Eventually, this was brought down to $75 flat for no promos, but you could still judge. Yay. And this shows that they have a history of charging a lot of money from their judges. And in my opinion, judging should not cost you money. And sure, this is a free thing. You don't need to buy these. But promos tend to be participation rewards or rewards for your expertise or your time or whatever it is. Promos are given. That's their entire point. They want to be able to give them later. That's why they don't let you buy them outright. So it feels a bit weird to go if you're a judge, you get the honor and the possibility of purchasing this at a market rate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not sure if this is best. You probably got way more to say, but already, I'm feeling from someone who, I've been endorsement from another shop, and to take the judging, so I could take the L1 if I wanted to, but this doesn't make me want to take it. Yeah. If I want to go and play when I go to tournaments. If I want to go and play, then if I want to not play and judge so that the event can happen, and because I can do it, not I can now, then there is obviously, it's always nice to have a little bit of compensation for that, a little bit of a thank you. And that's why they do the judge promos, right? Directly from FFG. That's why the store showdowns, you've got judge version of cards, which is really nice to have, right? Yeah. But this makes me be well, actually, do I have to pay more to be fully involved in it? Or I don't know. I was a bit disappointed when I heard all about this.
Yeah, and it's not the problem is not probably that the cards are not valued, right? Because otherwise people would not sign up.
They are
just
beautiful
the day before
cards.
and just to get their hands of these kits. But so probably you're investing and you will get more money. But it's weird having a judge reward to take a stock risk. That's basically what it is. Yeah. And everyone, we have discussed this outside, Matthias, but everyone doesn't have that kind of money to maybe invest or maybe you can't convince your partner that it's worth putting down $150 on these things because they will be worth more in 3 years. It could also be in a few weeks, but it's not certain, right?
Yeah, and like we're seeing people flip them already for profit, and it is a profitable business model for everyone involved. But it makes getting rewarded for being a judge a matter of class, and it should not be. You should not be considered a higher valued judge because you have a bigger wallet, in my opinion. Now, just to point out, because you mentioned the compensation, Jason, it is still the store's responsibility to ensure that the judges are paid or compensated for their time. And if you are a judge and you are not being compensated for your time at an event, you need to take that conversation with your tournament organizer, because that is their job. However, seeing promotional material should be given as promotional material, not as a way to get what I feel like is getting rid of a lot of stock that Asmodee can get rid of sidewinders or sidekicks.
Yeah,
at a higher
and
price.
I think that exactly. I think a simpler way to do this is just to you get rewards when you judge events. Why is this a thing really? Like, this is just because the cards doesn't cost them anything to print, basically. It costs a little, but it doesn't cost them $150, and the cards are the only thing that are valuable in this set, of the things that you purchase, which means that it's an extra income as well for them, which they don't necessarily need, right? It's better to just keep it cash in a way. You cash in on a TCG, it's so expensive to buy boxes usually, so they don't need this extra income. And it's better to have these cool judging promos for judges that judge the bigger events, right?
And that are actually actively judging as well. Because you're saying that, and I'm just thinking, how many people that have bought these packs now, getting their hands on these judge promos, have actually judged anything yet, or even plan on judging anything yet?
Yeah, a lot of people are just probably planning to flip them.
I would do the same if I lived in the States and I had was a little bit invested in the judge thing, because if I live in the States, I don't have to pay $100 extra for shipping, which means I will guaranteedly flip them for a good rate. So I don't blame people for doing that.
Oh no.
Because that is just good business, basically, and abusing a poor system. So hopefully they learn from this. They have commented a bit on that. They are sorry of how this have turned out, right?
I will be getting to that a bit here, but I will mention as well that they have said that what I've understood is that the point of this, because the judge community has estimated about a $55,000 gain for them from this. So after they pay off the boxes they actually purchased, and this is supposed to, if I've understood correctly, fund getting another team member to the crew. Which, fair enough, they need more money. Jonah is working his butt off trying to make this judge program work. They need more people. And that's fair. But in my opinion, that should not be funded through the judges' wallets, because that has the problem of turning, instead of making the judge community a community of helpful people trying to make a better competitive experience, helping new players get into the game, being a point of first contact for new players, and just a group of people working together to make this a better place to be, instead becomes a group of another consumer type that is expected to purchase for higher amounts of money. They're still expected to spend the amounts of money on FFG's products, but they're also expecting to spend very high amounts of money on Cascade products. And that changes the dynamic between the program lead and the actual judges heavily, in my opinion. And that's not a place where I think a solid foundation for a growing game can be built. I think that we need to be on an equal footing with a solid lead from Cascade to tell us what we're doing and what we're not, but where we're not pumping money into them to satisfy this FOMO, essentially. And well, like we judges make money for FFG already, right? Like through enabling this community to grow the way that it does, and enabling competitive play, and making people stay and play more games, more people buy more stuff. It's fairly simple. If people want to play the game, they buy the stuff to play the game. So realistically, in a perfect world, FFG should be funding whatever it is Cascade needs, not judges' wallets.
Yep. No, I completely agree with that, Matthias.
And if they need stuff for Cascade, which like you can do a lot of things. The judge shirts, sure, they're currently out of stock and will be for several more months. But if you want to, like, you can sell those. That's good. Throw in a promo card. Everyone will be happy. If you really need to sell something to make money now, make a kit that's relevant for judges, right? Like, make a this is what you need in a day of judging. Throw in some really cheap stuff: pen, paper, water bottle. I don't know, a snack. Like, spend $20, sell it for $100, make a lot of money. Throw in some promos, everyone's happy. But throwing out like these deck boxes that no one needs for judges, and that being currently the only way to get these promos, the only way they've announced further is for judge meetups, where they have like 6 or 7 planned in the United States, one in England, and one in Germany. And then you'll maybe get a card. We're not really sure how that works. Like, it doesn't feel right in my stomach. It feels like they're taking advantage of judges in a way that they shouldn't, because they are very, very adamant that we get our money from TOs, which they should be. And then they ask us to essentially pay what is 1 or 2 events worth of income for this product, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, and I think, as you say, in a way, it is like optional.
Yeah,
so they can get behind like saying it's optional. But I do think they should. Now they've said from forward it's going to be like these things are going to be for level 1 and higher, and that is actually people that usually judge. So I guess that then they actually come into the hands of people deserving it in a way.
Exactly.
Which is like a solution in a way. But I think maybe they have to work a little bit both on pricing and what they are
what's
offering.
in there, like make sure that either stuff that's relevant for judges or at least somewhat exclusive, if you're going to overcharge.
Because judges are the last people that need a deck box.
I have too many.
Yeah.
I can be throwing them out as candy at this point. You keep getting them at events. People are like, here, have a soft crate. Here, have a hard crate. Stop it. I don't need more crates. I have enough crates.
You just take them because you basically want it, right? So it's my price. You could as well kick it.
I earned this. It's like a reward.
But it only takes spot in my apartment or house. So do you have anything closing here during the judging thing?
So the actual sales of this went kind of chaotic. It sold out in like 10 minutes. People realized how much shipping was. The European link for the Dark Side kit crashed, I think. A lot of things went wrong. And the good thing about all of this, the best takeaway from everything that's happening right now, is that Jonah has, in the very few messages he has sent, the program director has said that they have realized that this hasn't exactly gone the way they planned. They underordered, they underestimated how delivery would be handled, and they are very sorry for how this has turned out. I have still gotten the feeling from the communication that like the actual cost of kits and stuff like that hasn't been a mistake as such, but the handling, everything around it hasn't gone the way they wanted, and they have explicitly said that they understand that words are cheap, but that is all they have to offer right now, and that they hope that the future will prove that they can do better. And I mean, this is the first time for this program. If they do it right next time, jolly good, everyone is happy, peace be upon you, and so forth. But
basically everything is forgotten then. Like if they do it right and keep doing it right, like then it's just a mistake.
Absolutely. People make mistakes. There are 2 people there. That's twice the amount of mistakes. So
exactly.
it's fine. Like,
and I want them to succeed. That's the thing.
yeah,
Like, I want them to succeed, because if you have a good judge program, if you have good judges, well trained, that can organize good events, the game will grow because people will enjoy going to the events, and that is a good for the game. And we want the game to grow, not just because of the investments that we put into the cards, but also the community growing, bigger events, more events locally, etc., on and on. Like. This we want the Cascade to do well. We want them to actually do well, but there's a little bit of the worry there to say, okay,
where's this going?
Yeah, where is this going? And are we going to lose people who want to be judges? Good people who are willing to give up their Saturdays and Sundays to be judges? Are they going to be like, actually, no, this is too much, and just not do it, and they'll fall off? Like, they need to look after the people who want to do this for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I won't have judges on the tournaments I'm playing because I don't want to judge. Because I want to compete, right? And there are different people, right? And people like different things, and I think more people like to compete, so you have to actually cherish the ones to judge. In a way, of course, you can't screw over the majority of your players.
Don't do that either.
Don't do that.
Don't screw people over. That's the general
that's the general feeling. Don't release 6 sets a year to milk every one of us. But no, I think there are rooms for improvement. And as you said, like, this is the first try with these things. It hasn't been a success, but as long as they take that with them and change it for the better, obviously, we will forgive them. The same, many people are disappointed with like season 0 not having a lot of stuff up, but like, if season 1 then is really good, like, nobody cares.
Move on with their lives. Be happy.
People were like sad about the Boba being there so long, but now when he's gone, nobody basically cares that he was dominant before. Like, we are humans, we forget very easily. So
take care of your judges and make them happy, and everything will be fine. No one is judging to get promos. That's not what's happening. That's not where people are complaining. We promos are cool. I love promos. I love collecting stuff like that. But I would still be judging if I got 0 promos and just got paid. But I don't like feeling alienated by being in Europe and not having the income of several like streets worth of net worth. So don't do that. Basically, I'm sure it will be fine. But we're not doing this for the promos. That's also a thing.
All right, moving on.
Well said. I was saying, Matthias, thank you for bringing this up, because it is really important that we address this stuff. And I think we and all us just appreciate the fact that this is in conversation. And so thank you for suggesting that we bring this up.
No worries. I leave for half a year or something, and then I come back and complain for 20 minutes.
Yes, that is great. And now you get to complain. No, he's gonna be able to keep complaining here about his store showdown run as well. But moving on to more positive things.
That's my job. That's my job coming up.
Oh yeah, we all attended the Manatorsk event, right? I have a YouTube video out where I describe my round a little bit closer, so I will not go into super much details about that. But spoiler alert, I won the tournament, so we got that off the window. But we all played there. It was a small event. It was a very generous top cut. Which was fun. Like, it was a vote, so
it was a democratic top
decision,
8 with 14 people.
We asked what everyone wanted, and we raised hands, and that's what we did. So
and like that's completely fine. It was very, very relaxing playing the Swiss round. Let's say that. Which was a nice experience. For some. So we've heard Matthias talk for a while here now. Jason, your beautiful voice. How was your event?
Well, I've got a bone to pick with you, because I was just like, okay, like I watched your video thinking, okay, right, he's kind of he's going into all his matchups talking like that as well. And you got to our matchup when we played. It's like, no, and then I played Jason and I won 2-0, and then I played this again. Like, you spent the least amount of time on our games.
Well, it was kind of one-sided.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Well, okay. I think that gives how my thing. I don't know. No, my run went pretty well for the first game because I won 2-1. I got completely caught unaware by a Kylo Red where I was playing Quinlan Tarkentown. And I took it from a list on SwooDB, and my what do you call it? My list didn't have any 1-drops, and so obviously I wasn't prepared for the Tarkentown for the Kylo Ren player, Henry, the son of one of the owners, and so he put a 1-drop down, and I had
A child.
There was a child there, so he's not too well. We can 36. We'll cut to do. That, so
we'll
complete.
Yeah.
Do you need to go?
No, it's fine. I need to come up now. I just don't understand. Do I need to run out there? Anyway, so I was playing Henry, who was the son of one of the owners, and he dropped down a 1, and I made the mistake of, first of all, putting into my resourcing my only 2-drop ground units. And so I had nothing to defend, nothing to do that. And obviously he was just beefing up this 1-drop, nothing common to hit me twice for 11 damage and then flip Kylo turn 5 and smash me again. And I was thinking I could not do anything about that, but I squeezed through the win, thinking, okay, shaky start, new deck, let's move on. Who do I face? Round 2?
Played Johan, right?
I played Johan, our friend from Vanimal, and with an Anakin Blue. I'm thinking, man, this guy has run this deck so many times that I'm not looking forward to this. He's like, oh no, this is a really bad matchup for me. It's like, okay, maybe I've got something here. But no, I mean, the 2-1, it was a fun game. I was getting used to the deck, which was really cool. And I'm really liking that deck. Game 3, very one-sided game against Adam. I'm not going to go say any more about that. See how it feels.
We discussed it afterwards, right?
We have discussed it afterwards, yeah.
You basically went in with a strategy that wasn't smart.
No. I went in instead of speed thinking, well, if I can stop you putting DJ or tech into your things and trying to pillage them out when I get the chance. But then obviously it was too late for that. You'd already done that.
Yeah, they are already in the...
exactly. So I should not have been trying to hit your hand. I should have just been hitting you in the face as quick as humanly possible. And it just didn't work for me. And I was just like, yeah, there we go. But anyway, there we go. So player error. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm 1-2. Strength of schedule's in my favor so far. Let's go to game 4, and so hopefully I get a good matchup there. But who do I realize I sit down against? Is our friend Matthias here with his Bosk green ramp deck, which I've only beaten once with the Hu Young Jedi thing when we were just playing casually, and I was just like, okay, I'm going home.
But you did
as soon as I sat down, but yeah, so it went okay. That game, I think I've played quite well in that matchup, getting to know the deck. I was hitting your hand. What was it? 6 cards I got you to discard.
You discarded 6 cards in my hand one game and like 4 the other. I didn't. I was just playing on top deck and I got lucky actually top decking. And and one game I couldn't deal with your Bosk when you flipped your Bosk, and you just kept on smacking me around the face, and I was struggling to get units out because I was pillaging and everything as well. So it's I'm going back and looking at the deck and everything, but I learned a lot, and I feel like I played well. You did,
considering the order. I think what was my strength of schedule was 70%.
Yeah, you faced number 1, 3, and 4 in Swiss.
Yeah.
That was your losses, so
yeah. So I might maybe up against lower seeds. I might have done better, but then there's obviously some very good players there as well. So I don't want to talk down on other players around. But just time with the deck, and I think I'll do that. But I really kind of found a really nice deck there with that Tarkin Town.
Yeah, I was watching you a bit because I've been trying to help you a bit beforehand. So I was watching you play a lot of that tournament. And it is visible how much you were growing in the game and with that deck. So it's very fun to see.
Oh, and I really appreciate that because everyone knows I'm not the greatest player, but I'm not here trying to be the greatest player. At least not this year. I'm just here for the comedy.
Oh yeah,
just here to screw around. Yeah, you're here for all the fish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that was my run, and then I just enjoyed watching some really good tight games, which went really well, and of course we streamed, so I was keeping an eye on.
You were forced
making sure the final was still was fully streamed there as well. So we didn't miss your first game of the final this time.
That's
great. That's great.
Imagine doing such a thing. Yeah.
I know, right? I know.
Who would do such a silly mistake?
Who would do that? Who would be sat opening packs instead of focusing on with the stream ascending? But yeah, that was my run. I actually had a really good day. Really felt good, and really well run. Well, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and while I'm yawning and Jason doesn't pick up the note that I want to throw to Matthias.
Did I just pass that over to you? The 2 second gap that was the worst. Yeah, there we go.
Meanwhile, I was doing that. How was it? Yeah, exactly. How was it playing for once, Matthias?
Oh, playing was great. I got to use the cards that I spent so much money on. It's great. It was actually, I managed to play quite a lot this season. I played 2 showdowns in Gothenburg as well with Boss Green.
True. Yeah.
So and where I went to finals in both of them. So yay. Got beaten by the same guy, going from 1-0 to 1-2 in both of them as well. So yay, I guess. But then we went to Skövde. It's been my worst run. I ended up going to the top 8 and then immediately getting punched in the face and sitting in a chair for the rest of the evening because I was also running the event. So, you know.
Yeah. Also forced
it was fun.
To stick around.
Yeah. But I was having a good time. And since beginning of December, I've been playing Boss Green, and that's what I've been just like aiming for this whole season. And it's a deck that I started off stealing from my friend Jonathan Eriksson, and then we've been working on it together, improving it a bit, and I've changed it a little bit, and he's gone in a different direction. So we have slightly different decks, but very similar. And
I guess the foundation is pretty similar.
Yeah, the foundation is very similar, and then we have a couple of changes to fit our styles, essentially.
Yeah.
And before the showdown, I faced him this season 3 times in battles, where I've in total gone 2-1 against him in sets of matches. And then I started off this particular tournament facing him in the first round. And in game 1, had a perfect play to get myself going, where I allowed him to deploy his leader first, threw a bounty on it, pinged it, and then deployed and force choked it. And then realized that, hang on, I missed a step. I forgot to do the pinging of the thing, so I can't even kill him right now. And then I threw the game because my head was still in the, is everything running? Did I start the timer? I was kind of in the setup mode, and I was like, oh wait, shit, I screwed up. Whoops.
That's a miss.
Probably lost me the game. Might have still lost, but definitely
didn't help. Yeah.
Wound up him winning 2-1 that game. I then had a couple of 2-0s, I think. I faced a Grievous Blue. Yes,
blue or green. I know it was a Grievous there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I faced Jason, and I faced someone else, and I cannot for the life of me remember what.
Was it the Palpatine?
I did not face the Palpatine.
No.
I do not remember, and I'm sorry to whoever
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
It was
Did you
most of my...
item blue maybe?
No, I did not face the item blue either.
Yeah. The meta for this was wide open. Like there were so many different heroes and combinations and everything. Like almost everyone brought a completely different deck.
Yeah, I faced so many Django's this season, so it might have been a Django if there was one, but I'm not sure if there was one.
I think we were Django free.
We might have been Django free,
which was quite nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very sorry to the last person in the list of people I fought. But I do not remember what I played. It was a very fussy day in general.
Yeah, it was after lunch. If that helps you remember who you sat down.
Nah,
against.
I don't remember. But regardless, we then went into the top 8 cut. I was Swiss 4th.
I think it was Quinlan ECL you faced.
Yes, thank you. It was Quinlan ECL. Now I remember. I won that one fairly handedly as well. Yeah. We then went into the top cut where I was ranked 4th, facing rank 5, of course, because that's how top cut was. Rank 5 was none other than the wonderful Jonathan Eriksson on Boss Green, again, for my second run of the day. We had some really close games there. It was actually I don't like playing that mirror because it's like for playing 4D chess, but I like playing as Jonathan because he's such a good player, so it's fun.
Definitely.
And we play the deck very differently as well. Like, just watching him play, it's very fun to see the different prioritizations we make in any given stage. But we wound up with him winning 2-1. The last game he won with 1 HP remaining.
Yeah, that was sick, that game.
Yeah. And I think I got him to like 25, and then he dropped the Devastator when I was at like 4 or something, and then I just could not bring out any more damage.
You basically did your last damage with like a Death of a Ruthless, right?
Yeah, I smacked the Ruthless into him. And by the time I was done, when I finally got rid of his Devastator, Palpatine's returned it, and I just never saw my... I remember... I had to resource one of my Devastators because it was game 3, so I had 2 in the game in the deck. And when I Vadered at one point, I saw 1 crate, 1 Devastator, and 2 Palps returns or something like that. Just like my end game just went out the window.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a rough one. I was just trying to squeeze out that last 1 damage, and it didn't work. But amazing games all around, and it was a really good time. And he wound up going to finals against you, Adam. So at least that's nice. Getting knocked out of a guy going to finals is always good.
Yeah. Right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, I got knocked out by the guy who got knocked out to go to the finals, and by the guy who got knocked out. So, like, I'm just, it's just bad luck. That's all it was on Saturday. For me, it was just bad luck. On another day, I would have been in the final.
Yep, you would have clearly just won everything.
Sure, not just the Top Cut final for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been very fun because, as you said, I've been judging a lot of events, and it's been fun to just sit down with a deck that I really enjoy, because I didn't really find one set 2 that I fell for, and in the beginning of set 3 I was like, and then I found Boss Green. It's just like, it's just the kind of deck I like playing, so it was really fun to just have a run of playing some card game and having fun, enjoying the game.
Good that you finally found it, because you probably would have liked it in set 2 as well, because there aren't that many new cards in the deck.
No, there are not. I would have, but I just didn't really think about it. And also, I was trying to not play Boba Green, because I played Boba Green in set 1, but I liked Boba Green. Now this is like Boba Green, but slightly worse, but has bounties, I guess.
Yeah, it's Boba Red. No, Boss
no, it's
Green,
not.
Right? Yeah.
it's ramp, and also I hit you very hard, and it's fun to drop big ships.
Yeah, it's a really fun deck when it works. That's definitely. So yeah, that's basically what we've been up to. I guess I go through my run a bit here as well for everyone that doesn't watch YouTube. But basically, like I almost 2-0'd my whole way through this tournament. I actually only had 1 game loss, and that was in my game 1, where I played against a Palpatine yellow. And as I said before, since it was that generous top cut, I was playing it very like freely and relaxed. So didn't really think about the timer. I took my time. I won game 1 fairly easy. Then in game 2, I played Han yellow, by the way. In game 2, he like added in scanning officers, which is normal. He managed to hit me with it round 1, and I was like, okay, that's fine. It's not here. It decides. Then he hit me again on like my flip turn. I was like, sure. And I was like, hey, let's play this out because I can probably win because I wanted to limit test. And like the game went on, and then I was like, now we are about 10 minutes left. We are not going to be able to finish a third game anyway. So now I really need to win this game, which I ended up not doing. So like if I were, so it became 1-1. So we drew game 1 basically. And like if I were, or like on a PQ where every loss matters, I would probably have played fast and maybe like after the second scanning officer just surrendered and like because we are not going to do 3 games if I don't, and then just give me a good chance, like the best chance of winning next one because I'm favored in the matchup. But that was fun in a way, like just realizing that, hey, time. It's usually not an issue when I play. Then I got to play Chancellor Palpatine, which is not common in general, which is like that deck has a little bit problem like dealing with DJ because I can kind of force him to be on the wrong side sometimes, and like some removals don't work then. So that I did. Then we faced Jason. We've already been talking enough about that matchup.
Yeah, let's pass on by that quickly and forget that it ever happened.
Then I played Jonathan in Swiss as well. So Matthias is not the only one that faced him twice. Me and Jonathan usually face up at some point at these tournaments. And like it became a 2-0. He was super close in game 2, but that's how it went. We both went through anyway, so no biggie. In top 8, I got to face Cad Red, Andrea, my brother. And Cad Red is really good matchup for Han Yellow, so that went very expected, 2-0. DJ'd him both games, so Cad basically could not do anything. Then I got Han... no, not Han. I got to play Sabine Isiel in the semis. Piotr, the local guy, he's usually in the top in these tournaments. Also a pretty good matchup for Sabine. I drew Cunning both games. I think I doubled Cunning in one of the games as well.
Wow.
So I think it was game 2 he made fairly close because I was like on turn 2 I had 2 units and like turn 3 based 4 resources or something. I had 2 surprise strikes. I was like, if I just double hit with these, this is going to be quite nasty. I'm going to try it. And then he managed to clear one of them and it became a little bit iffy. But won that 2-0. And then I 2-0'd Jonathan in the final as well. Again. With the like him removing my Kira and I top decked a new Kira and just played it like it was a lot of fun.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
Wonderful to watch.
It's on stream, like that
it is
game.
On stream.
And my top 8 game is on stream if anyone wants to watch those. Like the boss green is a lot more trickier of a matchup for Han Yellow, but like I managed to execute the like pinpoint his hand all the time. I was like, you have to play the Han Yellow very annoyingly against boss green, which happened.
I remember speaking to him afterwards about a play he did in the third game where he, instead of pinging your Enfys Nest to death because it had a bounty on it and only 1 HP remaining, he traded with the Vader, which was completely just a miss as well because it was very late. So it was a very close game overall. It looked like
that game too could have gone very differently because that Vader could have killed my tech, which with later like in the same round I played tech and smuggled up a falcon and won.
Yeah.
And like he had some big stuff on hand, so he potentially could have closed it down. We don't know. He was very damaged.
Yeah.
but definitely like a misplay for sure, or mistake basically. Like when we played a long showdown.
Yeah, it was a top 8 cut after all, so there's a lot of games going on.
But overall, I don't think he's too mad about it since he squeezed in on a 2-2 to a top cut. So which is generous in itself.
Oh yes.
But yeah, and a shout out to Anakin Blue who won the Swiss again, but just can't win tournaments. This deck, it's just great in Swiss. That's all I say. I've been working on that deck now again quite a bit, and I like it's just a fun deck. I'm like trying to. I want to branch out for my next 2 store showdowns.
Yeah. Have you been working on the deck that your one is playing at the moment? That you like you working on it together, or do you have a different version of that? Because...
No, fairly similar. Like Jonah is still working on him. Tobias has been working on it. Like, and there is actually like in our Discord there is a deck thread for the Anakin Blue. Multiple people have been putting on their decks and showed, and like I took inspiration from some of them, and like Johan did take a little bit, but not too much because he had no time to practice with the new stuff. And like so we'll see. Like it's so far I've been really enjoying the new list. I was struggling a lot with Anakin Blue before the PQ, which was the reason I switched. And didn't make the cut. So we'll see if like I feel like as good with this new version that I feel confident to take it to one of the PQ, either Oslo or Stockholm.
Yeah. Next, I remember playing that deck. I think the game 3 he brought the whole Jedi lightsaber onto Anakin, and then another. What did he do after that?
Sideboarded,
And so sideboarded that in, and I just wasn't expecting that move. I was trying something else, and it just completely caught me unaware and messed up my game plan. And I guess I wonder if that's a new thing because I play against Anakin Blue. I haven't seen the whole lightsaber.
Like the lightsaber thing is a very old thing that we in the Nordic Takedown has actively chosen not to play because we didn't think it fit the meta. But it's been a pretty good answer to certain situations. So I think in his case, it was in the sideboard. So it's not strange that you didn't see it game 1, but something that come in later. It's a very dangerous card to play like versus yellow decks, but most Quinlans and like Django's don't play Waylay anyway. So it's actually kind of free unless you get tapped down. So yeah, like I'm really enjoying Anakin Blue again. So
it's a very cool deck, absolutely.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But we have one last judgy segment, right?
We do? Okay.
No, we do now. We talked about like new interactions, right, Matthias?
Oh yeah, I did see that note, and I very promptly forgot to think about that. But so like. You wanted to hear about any cool new interactions from set 3, basically?
Yes, because now we are in the middle of the PQ season already, but in the Nordics we still have 2 left, right? So some rule things, interactions that like is commonly like mistaken or like what would you call something that people don't know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, set 3 hasn't changed a lot. It's like set 2 did a lot of things, and those things are called smuggle, and smuggle is a nightmare logistically. We love smuggle as judges because it gives us a job. So that's great. Set 3 has been more easy to understand for most people. Like there are like the big questions have been stuff like does coordinate trigger with the card being played? The answer is yes. Can you use a when defeated ability on something that gets exploited on the thing that it was exploited for? The answer is yes. When defeated abilities trigger in the same window as when played in the event of being killed by an exploit. The thing with these new mechanics, though, is that no one's really playing with them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
true.
take a look at any given set, any given top 8 deck, and count the amount of set 3 cards you'll find. There might be 3, and they're Perilous Position, and Django.
Yeah.
It's like there are a couple. Like there's Cad Bane. There are a couple of cards, but Cad Bane has set 2 mechanics, right?
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
mechanics are fairly unused. There are like some fringe things that we probably won't see in actual like competitive play, but that is funny. Like the fact that triple Dark Raid can go and fetch a motorbike to attach, like it gets Grievous's bike and
Yeah.
attach it to a dude.
Yep.
Which, sure, that works. It will still bounce after you like it will still bounce later, and like
Yeah.
it doesn't technically ready because upgrades aren't ready or exhausted, but like you can get it and then mouse it to your hand. That's fun.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something else that has been going on. That's a bit just like, sure, that's a thing we're doing, but I can't quite remember. But the fetching the bike is one of the main ones, really.
There was actually a question that I've seen twice come up in either, I think, in the Facebook or different forums, and that was smuggling in something when you're smuggling something in with another cost. With another cost thing, can do both costs work? And obviously the answer is
the bamboozle thing, right?
Yeah. It was bamboozle. Someone said bamboozle. Yeah. So no,
so yes,
like if you smuggle in bamboozle, but if you smuggle in bamboozle, you still have to pay the 2. You can't pay 0.
Exactly. Yes.
From smuggle, you have to pay the 2 still for the bamboozle.
So the smuggle is a replacement, and so is the discarding a card instead. So and you can only use one replacement effect or replacement cost,
which is why it works on DJ.
Yeah, exactly. The reason DJ works is because he gets 2 effects. One says smuggle 5 and one says smuggle 7. And then he says, if you smuggle, do this thing. So I choose the cheaper smuggle, thank you. You're still allowed if you wanted to pay 7, but like.
But why?
Don't do that. Don't be stupid.
That is some BM. I will pay 7 because I'm winning anyway.
Yeah.
I think one interaction, like I think we got it clarified in the Swedish Discord, but that is actually very like many people take wrong. And that's actually something that happens fairly often because it's a Django thing. It is when you sneak attack Ruthless Raider, and the Ruthless Raider dies the next round, and you can tap it with Django. Like, how does that work, Matthias? Can you?
Okay, so this is even set 1 effects.
Yes, but Django is Django, right?
Yeah,
so why people
Django is relevant now, yeah,
because Django is released, so people think that. So this is like related to what happens in the regroup phase, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I am just bringing up the wording on cards, which is why I'm stalling.
Yes. Stall all you want. Like Jason, sing us a song. No.
Don't do that, please. So Ruthless Raider says, when played / when defeated, deal 2 damage to an enemy base and 2 damage to enemy units. Sneaker says, attack says, play in from your hand. It costs 3 less and enters play ready. At the start of the regroup phase, defeated.
Yes.
So the thing that happens here is obviously when it gets defeated, you ping, and if you get the ping, then you get to exhaust.
Yes.
Now the thing is, the problem here is the ordering of the regroup phase, because obviously in the regroup phase you have the draw resource ready. Right, that's what you do in the in the regroup phase. But before you do that, you go to the start of the regroup phase, where, as one might expect, everything that says at the start of the regroup phase, or until the start of the regroup phase, or for this phase, if you somehow manage to trigger something in the regroup phase, I guess, like those things happen there at the start of the regroup phase. There are stuff that also interacts like with the end of whatever phase, and that happens. So there's a start of each phase, then there's the actual phase, and then there's a window that's the end of the phase. And so when you die at the start of the regroup phase, things haven't been readied yet. So then you move. So you do it. Let's say you have Django ready. So you ping with the Relentless Raider the Ruthless Raider, sorry. You exhaust whatever it is you wish to exhaust, and then you keep moving on, and then you will immediately ready it because you go into the ready stage of the regroup phase.
Yeah. Cool. Now we got that cleared, because that's at least a new thing that didn't happen in the set 2 or 3, because there was no Django.
Yeah, Django wasn't making things annoying.
No, exactly. Just suspend, right?
Just suspend all things that makes us suspend Han, Sabine, Django, and also CAD for some reason. Let's go have
just all aggro. Just play more Bosk Blue and Palp Blue, like long games that goes to 1-0.
Yeah.
Suspend Finn, not for any other reason than just because no one's playing him anyway, so let's not confuse new players.
Yes, he what did he win a showdown? There was a Finn that won a store showdown a couple of weeks ago.
Perhaps.
I mean, any good deck can win with a bad leader if you play it well enough.
Fair enough. You just switch Anakin for Finn and you will win some games.
Talking about suspending and banning, though, I did realize today that there is a Fantasy Flight stream tomorrow night titled Updates to the Game. And that's going to be interesting to see what happens there, what kind of updates. They're probably going to confirm that Twin Suns is going to 80, etc., etc. But could there be some suspensions?
Not yet.
Not
mid-season.
I'm just wondering what updates these possibly could be.
I think maybe it's more updates against, like as you said, Twin Sun stuff. Maybe it's information about where the sectors and regionals.
Yep.
Perhaps, like I think they're more like these things. I think if they are doing a suspension, they do it. Like they will do it
for the season next
pre set 4 or after set 4. I think they would not want to suspend things mid competitive season.
That is true.
And of course, the only thing that would be possible to do is probably Han 1 or DJ. That's what people are annoyed about. But right now, nobody have to worry about that. I think that would be very strange.
Yeah. Especially like in the Nordics, if you move on back over to Anakin, we don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, exactly. Just Anakin. Just suspend Anakin. No, I think you should buff him. Like that's what he needs.
Please don't. Draft is already scary.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Buff him set 4 when nobody's drafting on set 3.
Yeah,
anymore.
go ahead.
Then you do the balance of the force.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the most powerful. All right, I think this will sum up the episode. Might be the longest we've had yet.
No, the last episode was the longest.
Oh, that's
we've had yet. 20. What has been the longest yet? It should have been longer if if my audio recorded.
Actually, you're wrong because you are forgetting the interview that we haven't added in yet.
That is true.
That we have definitely heard.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just shows our listener, you are getting more value for your time, if that even makes sense. But
you're getting more time for your time. It's fine.
Exactly. This is amazing. All right, thank you, Matthias, for clearing your evening. I'm not going to thank Jason. This is what he's supposed to do.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Jason, for being here. I guess I'll do that.
Thank you, Matthias. This is Adam. This is how you thank your co-hosts, and
yes.
Take note.
Yeah. And everyone, we see you next week when some things have happened. I've been to store showdowns, and there is no PQs in the Nordics, but it's, other things are going to be happening, obviously, in Star Wars Unlimited.
Come to Stockholm, play in the PQ. It's fun.
Yes, which is in 2 weeks. Awesome. Our outros are always the worst. They never end. But yeah, Stockholm PQ, and then the week after is the Norwegian PQ. Please go to that one as well. Like, we want to have more PQs in the Nordics, so please attend if you can. Like, that's helpful, I think, to bring more.
Play games, listen to us, have fun.
Exactly.
That's
some great words.
That's great. We can end better than that.
Yeah. May the force be with you.